Oh no, we not. We on. We on. See, it's nothing
We
wrong.
on.
We
We
on.
on like Donkey Kong.
We
It's
on like
Mixed Martial
Donkey
Mike.
Kong. I like
It's
that.
JoeyKO. Ah. And who the fuck is that guy?
I
That
like
is
that.
it's the
Joey K.
limited edition collector's ankle snapped McGregor.
Ankle
It
snap
comes with two
McGregor.
faces.
Oh,
The humble McGregor and the who the fuck is that guy face. Oh yeah.
You really happy right now,
I mean, listen, karma's a bitch.
huh?
And karma,
Okay.
you seen like Final
That's how you feel.
Destination? You see how Final Destination death was actually coming after people? Hold on.
Absolutely.
Well, I feel like karma went after McGregor's ankles. He was behind McGregor. McGregor tried to throw that bullshit left hand and snap for talking all that shit, saying fuck the
Well,
kids and
before we get
involving
into
the
this,
wife.
wait, but before we get into this, we must pay our respects to Sebastian Eubanks. It is
Yes.
horrible news. Um,
RIP. And definitely sending our prayers to Pritchard Colon,
as well.
who's also going to surgery. Hopefully everything turns out well and he'll recover soon. So
I'm
not
actually
getting
looking
into it
at
because
reports that he actually died of a heart attack. At first, reading it off Twitter, I thought it was like a suicide thing because Chris Eubank Jr. apologized to his brother, hoping that he was there for him. So maybe they assumed it was suicide, but he died of a heart attack, just to make it clear for everyone. And it's a horrible news. And Pritchard Cologne is actually having a surgery, so that could be actually positive news. But surgery is never something that you want to hope for. So hopefully he's went through that greatly, and yeah, we could get right into the discussion.
which is what's next for Conor McGregor. Obviously, he's not going to be fighting for at least a year, probably more.
That is absolutely true.
And there are some options for his comeback. I don't think he should fight Dustin again right away because I think Dustin just has his number right now. You know, watching that fight was a little
Hell no.
shameful. It was starting to get embarrassing for
It was
Conor
starting to
in
get
that second
embarrassing.
round.
Are you absolutely crazy?
I
Well, it
mean,
was
two of the
looking a
three
little
judges.
embarrassing. I see what you mean. I'm not here to coddle the what we saw. Dominic Cruz. Wow, that was a horrible misstep. Dustin Poirier obviously won the round. I see some people and two out of the three judges gave him 10-8 round. So he definitely dominated and asserted his will in that first round. And like I told you over the phone prior to going live, it was a tactical error that led to that sequence. I'm not saying that Dustin Poirier can't take Conor McGregor down, as you saw in the second fight. He absolutely can take him down. So please don't mishear what I'm saying. What I'm clearly saying is that Dustin Poirier did not take Conor McGregor down. Conor McGregor decided to go for the guillotine, which when you fail, you're naturally in the bottom position. So he couldn't get up. So that's of
Which
course
is
testament to Dustin. That's
is ironic because he was
that's
making fun
testament.
of Dustin. He was actually talking shit about
Right.
submissions, and he don't count submissions. And well, guess what? You were acting out of character, so that's never good. I think Dustin forced him to make those tactical errors that ultimately led to his demise. And I think that for right now, he should get Dustin out of his mind. He needs to get some fights in, some experience, because to to try to catch up to what Dustin has done in his absence, I think it's too much. And I think Dustin definitely showed that he could take him down or control him actually and ground and pound him. Like
Well, I think
he ate a
that's
lot of
I
shots.
think that's a great
Definitely ate a lot of shots.
that's a great catalyst of a point I want to make, or a conversation I want to get to with Conor McGregor. Is he the exact same, or is he worse than he was when they fought the first time? Is it so much that Dustin has improved so much? Well, of course he has, and he's even stronger now. He's heavier at a heavier weight, so it's a different
I think
division.
it It's a combination of both things. I think it's a combination of McGregor's digression of the sport and Dustin's progression of the sport. Because since McGregor went to make 100 million with Mayweather, he hasn't been too active. And in MMA, he's 3-1. He's 1-3 now. He only
Right.
won one fight with an over-the-hill Cerrone, who's
Right.
clearly not even in his prime. And then he lost to Khabib.
Let me
He ended up
invite
losing
people
to
so they
Dustin
know
twice
that we're
now.
here. Yeah,
And he got his
absolutely.
ass kicked by Mayweather in boxing. So, I mean, if you want to count the boxing loss, that's 4 losses and 5 appearances.
Well,
So,
obviously, I'm not here to defend that record. The record doesn't look great. But we always have to preface it and understand that it's who he's facing. You can't say he's washed up. Heck, you crazy. Heck, don't be coming over here talking shit about Conor. That can't be the first thing you say. He's washed up. Absolutely not. The fight was only getting good. The fight was only getting good. That when the fight was about to start, which was the second round, he breaks his leg. Come on. You cannot say he's washed. Are you crazy? He landed 26 strikes. Dustin landed 37. And I know Dustin's were much better and much more effective. I'm not saying, I'm not arguing the opposite. But please, let's not speak ridiculousness. Also, Justin Gaethje's washed. You check his resume. Go online right now. His resume is the same. His last 2 losses are Conor's last 2 losses, and he looked worse against Khabib.
yeah, but
Argue about that one.
regardless of anything, Dustin has his number, and he should probably come back a year from now and fight either Tony Ferguson, which is probably the best option, I think,
Tony
because
Ferguson.
Tony looks washed up. So it'll be the battle of the 2 fighters, like who's washed up, because one of them is gonna get the opportunity
like
to prove
that.
that they still belong. Because right now the image is gonna be that
Look,
McGregor's not the same guy. That's
McGregor
how
is the
the
same
media's gonna
guy.
treat him.
He is Conor McGregor Jr. Well, not Jr. He got a Jr. But you know what I mean. At the end of the day,
He's looking like a past prime McGregor.
obviously,
I
look like the crazy dude on the street arguing and telling you about the multiverse and telling you about otherworldly stuff. When I tell you that Conor McGregor is gonna come back and knock Dustin Poirier out, you may look at me like the bum on the street asking you for the dollar and telling you some crazy predictions, but it's what I truly believe. When they fight again, Conor's gonna knock him out, and the difference is gonna be the result. Watch. You're going to see. I'm not in denial.
That's what you said in this fight. That's what you said was going to happen in the last fight. And guess what? Dustin got his hand raised, and he did it in spectacular fashion.
You're absolutely
it may
correct.
not be the best way to
but
win.
Don't you think we would have all appreciated a definitive victory? Because I think we deserved that. We got that the first 2 times. If anything, we've gotten the most definitive trilogy in all of time. Because every fight has ended. It hasn't even gone to decision. So I'm going with the odds of life. If you believe in oddities, I believe the odds are in our favor that we're going to see a decision in our hands in the 4th fight.
Well, I'm going to give my honest opinion.
Let me hear your opinion,
If Conor McGregor fights... he fights Dustin, let's say, right away, right? He heals his leg and he fights Dustin. He is going to lose. If he at least comes back, gets a couple of wins, beats Tony Ferguson, beats a Nate Diaz, and then fights, Dustin, I think he has a great chance. But if he fights right away against Dustin, Dustin is going to lay it the smacker down and dominate him.
Yeah,
Like,
you a loser
believe.
too,
He
Heck.
just has his number
Yo, Heck,
right
you
now.
a loser too. You really gonna count this as a win? Or are you also that dude that's just gonna
lost?
Yo.
The fight lasted 1 round.
I'm gonna use the same analogy I used earlier. Jose's the type of dude that if I break my leg in the same race we're competing in, he ain't gonna help me up. He's gonna go for the victory. That's what Dustin did.
We're
he saw the broken leg.
Why would I help you up?
We're
competing. I'm
would
gonna
have
win
picked
the
you
race,
up.
Then I'm gonna come get you. How about
What would a
that?
Goku
After
did?
I finish dusting you in the past, then I'm gonna come back and get you.
My man is
I'm
crazy.
gonna leave you there.
He's relishing in this.
listen, your man McGregor got his ass whooped. I know it hurts because that's, you know what I'm saying. That's your guy right there. That's
I can't
your
front. I'm
idol.
hurt. My body and my soul and is
But
like
what you gotta understand is that McGregor that's behind you right there, that nigga died when he made 100 milli. McGregor's not the same, bro. He could talk all that shit. He could a great promoter, but he looked like he's fighting for
so you
paychecks,
fight
bro.
him then.
I
You
don't
fight
see
him.
the
Let's see
same
if he's just a
fire in his
promoter,
gut.
Joe. Let me see you
I don't
fight
see the
him.
fire in his gut. I see fakeness when he talks shit. I'm gonna do
Wow.
this. I'm gonna do that, and these guys are walking through him, taking him down, dominating him. Didn't Khabib dominate him?
Okay, but you're
Didn't
talking
fucking
about
Dustin?
okay. So now we're gonna have to dissect this because now you sounding like the casuals of all casual. You're literally casually gonna talk about mentioning that Khabib won. Khabib is one of the best.
Yes,
So
and
it
if
happens.
Conor McGregor says that he's the best, then he has to be able to beat the best, correct?
Yo,
He didn't
Hector,
say, "Hey, I'm a top 10
you probably
contender."
drinking proper 12 right now, Heck.
Yeah, we drinking that proper 12. He's drinking some proper fucking karma juice. That's what he's drinking right there. That nigga got his ass whipped.
That definitely
I
doesn't
bet
sound
you
like good juice. That sounds like the
the
most bitter
sweat
juice ever.
of Dustin Poirier's knee is still up his ass.
Okay, but is Karma looking for Dustin now? Is Karma coming for Dustin?
No,
Because we saw, I'm
no,
telling you, oh no, oh no. What happened to Chris
no.
Wyman? What happened to Chris Wyman? Chris Wyman snapped
He
his
broke his
leg.
leg. Yeah.
The same, almost
Okay.
the exact same way Anderson Silva broke his leg on him. And you know why that happened?
Okay.
Because
Why that
Chris
happened?
Wyman's instinctual reaction was to raise his hand and run around like a fucking pony. He looked like an idiot running around the ring. I think that's another reason why people
Nothing
had a
wrong with
bad
that.
taste. What you
He's
mean?
celebrating a victory.
See, another loser mentality. Yo, bro.
Loser
That's
mentality.
some loser
You're
mentality.
the loser, bro. You're a sore loser.
No, I'm not a sore loser. I'm a human that understands that that's messed up.
Yo, he celebrated a victory. It's very different from you making fun of his broken leg, like Conor McGregor did to fucking Dos Anjos. So
My man
that's
is,
karma. He's
yeah,
done it. He's done it
He's
to other
drinking.
fighters too.
Yo,
He
you
done
know
said
what? You know what he did?
borderline racist shit to Nate Diaz, to even Mayweather.
He's doing a shoey. He's
Nah,
doing a shoey. That's what he's doing. He's doing shoeys in the house, and that dirt from the shoe is actually like, oh, one time skills, what's up? Yeah, but he's
sometimes
doing
when you spit
shoeys.
up, it lands on your face.
I
So when
know
you spit
exactly
up,
what
it's
he did. To go to
foul. That's
sleep,
what happened to
he
Conor
snorted.
McGregor.
He snorted a whole line of Dustin Poirier hot sauce right before he went to sleep. Jerked off and then went to sleep, and he felt great at night. That's why he could make fun of him and feel great. Show the ankle again. Move over, Joe. Let me see. Let me see the ankle. Let me
Snap
see.
crackle right there.
If you buy that toy, you a piece of shit. You a
Nah,
bad
that's
human. That's voodoo. That's voodoo. What if I snap it and it breaks? What if? How do I know Conor McGregor don't feel that right now?
I tell you what, there's no Dustin ankle crack doll out there, voodoo doll, none. You
My
know
man.
why? Because he has good karma. He helps children out. You know,
Yo,
he
you
make
really like
he don't
was
like
good
talking
one
about
time.
negative things. He's very respectful. He's a gentleman. Conor McGregor is a douchebag a lot of times when he gets into
Okay,
these fights and press conference and
okay.
disrespects people. He really thinks he's like better than people.
So you
So
think being a good person is needed to fight, or you could be a piece of shit and still
no,
be
it's
dominant?
preferred. It's
Because I could have
preferred. But
sworn,
guess what?
your favorite idol, Michael Jordan, was a piece of doodoo, a piece of mierda, and you
Nah,
love him.
but McGregor. I mean, Jordan never did no shit like this. He never
No,
did a McGregor. Like
he never
imagine
did
that.
this. No, no, no. McGregor
Imagine,
is
imagine
crazy.
Michael Jordan before a fucking game. He's like, "You're dead in that fucking court. You're dead."
No,
Come on,
see, since I'm crazy, I could get my
McGregor is
mind. I
crazy.
could put
He's
my mind
nuts.
in crazy. So, um,
Is
what
that
you
you
gotta
biased as hell? So you
no, what you gotta
justify everything your
understand is
sweetheart
if Michael
does.
Jordan did say that, imagine he did. I'm not even gonna try to defend him. That's a scary individual. You're gonna kill me for basketball?
Yo,
Legit?
And Conor
Legit, you're
McGregor
gonna kill
wanted
me
to
for
kill
basketball.
Dustin.
Legit, me.
He said, "Yo, you leaving in a stretcher."
Okay, so I
And
just
then he
boom.
left in the stretcher. That's
You making my
karma.
point. So why you
That's
making my point? But now
karma.
you're gonna make it for Conor McGregor's demise. You're right. You proved it, but in the opposite direction, which is clever. I appreciate that.
All right,
See?
so what bad karma does Dustin deserve? What are you talking about?
All I'm trying to say,
I just
we
said
don't
all
know
the key
when it can
points. He's a
happen.
good
We don't
person.
know when it can happen. But when he's fighting, he could break his leg. And everyone's going to remember that he was making fun of Conor McGregor in his leg. He bought a chain from Jake Paul, dog. Come
He
on.
didn't buy it. Jake Paul gave it to him, and he's gonna sell it to charity.
Okay.
Smart.
Okay. I probably would have
He's
did
gonna
the
sell
same.
it to charity for charity money. The 500,000 that McGregor didn't give, they're gonna give him for that chain.
So heck, what
Karma
other
up
type of
that ass.
discussions? Once we get past this, you got anything else on your mind? Because we have plenty, but there's about the fight. What do you have to add to this? Because Jose is really like happy about this, and I'm horribly sad and really
It's not that I'm happy. It's just
demoralized.
that clearly he got his ass whooped by the better man, and he deserved to lose.
He might be the
I
better
don't think he
man,
deserves to
but
get
he's
his
not the
leg
better
broken,
fighter. And
but he
history's
deserves
gonna
to
show
lose
that.
because Dustin is a better person, in my opinion. And Conor McGregor probably gonna have to reroute. If he ever dreams about beating Dustin, he's gonna have to
I'm not over here saying
rebuild.
that death threats is good. I'm not saying I'm approving that. That's not how you sell a fight. I don't think you need to sell it by threatening somebody's life. However,
You're dead.
he's trying to put fear in Dustin's mind. And you can obviously tell Dustin is still tight.
And
So,
it doesn't.
how do you
Listen.
know? Remember, if I drink the
This
Kool-Aid,
reminds me.
if I drink the Kool-Aid, if I'm Dustin and I drink the Kool-Aid, if I'm listening to JoeyKO's words and soliloquy and buffoonery, right? Then I am going to go into the fight underestimating who Conor McGregor is. Conor McGregor is a snake. He's Loki from the Marvel movies, dog.
Exactly. He's a fucking snake. Snake in the grass.
No, not a snake in the
guess
grass.
what?
That's different. He's loyal to his people. Dustin trains in Louisiana, or where he trains at?
Listen.
He got the Louisiana
end
hot
of the
sauce,
day.
but he don't train there. Conor McGregor had the Irish whiskey, and he lives in Ireland and trains with Irish fighters and people and lives in there. That's what he does.
And he got his ass whooped in the third fight against Dustin Poirier.
And
That's
talk
what
about
I
these
saw.
death threats. You see death threats. You a fighter, bro. Well, okay, let the crowd know what your coach told you to motivate you in the corners. Go ahead, let the people know.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with this.
I just want you to know at the level of verbal abuse and verbal cruelty that can reach a fighter's mind and the way they express.
Never death threats. Never death threats. You're going overboard.
This dude is now he's a PC. Now he's PC. Now
You're
he's
going
scared.
overboard. I'm sorry.
I didn't do nothing.
Your man doesn't need to be
baby,
making death threats to a family man. And your man Dustin had class. He said, "I want him to go back to his beautiful family."
Bro, it's not okay.
And he's wishing death on me. That's a good dude.
It's not okay what he did. It was horrible
what he did.
to say that and to look that way. But he's in the fight mode. He is not in normal.
There's no excuse for that,
mode.
bro. You're a piece of shit. And karma broke your ankle.
Bet. I hope
broke your whole
Poirier
fucking...
goes in there thinking he's a piece of shit so he could throw bolos and wide punches so he could get countered with the left. Because I'm hoping for that. Y'all talking crap about Conor so bad that Conor's gonna be viewed as the fucking underdog and he's gonna be viewed he's not gonna be viewed at the same light.
I'm gonna predict it like this: if they fight a fourth time, right away, Dustin Poirier is gonna ground pound the leprechaun out of his ass. Okay, the pot of gold, he's gonna beat that shit over. He's gonna beat him over the head with the pot of gold, and it's gonna be embarrassing. So he better not. He better come back and fight Tony.
Talk
about
racist, huh? Oh, got him. God, I'm talking about racist, but now you want to talk about him being a
Karma,
leprechaun.
baby.
Why is a
That's
leprechaun?
karma. That's karma right there.
You think just because you're Puerto Rican that you could get away with this sort of stuff? Are
I'm
you
a Puerto
crazy?
Rican. I'm a Puerto Rican, not a Puerto Rican. So
You
yes,
Eddie Alvarez is Puerto Rican and Irish, so we're Irish.
and I got the heart of a lion. So definitely. And your man, you know, I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for him.
You
I
just
do feel bad that he broke his leg, but that's the game. That's the nature of the business. He did make $25 million, so
yo, and I'm
he'll be able to
consistent.
sit pretty.
You talking about I'm biased? Consistency proves otherwise. Because when when Anderson Silva broke his leg, I was like,
Okay.
whoa, that is not a victory. Sorry. Although it clearly looked like, okay, oh, no. I know exactly what the discussion should be. Heck, you listening? Pay attention. Put your ears in your hammerhead right closer to the mic. The TV screen. Everyone right now, because the fight and the momentum of the fight was heading to Dustin, we're assuming what the other 4 rounds were going to be. And I told Jose over the phone, and I wrote it down, and I put it in a notepad. In MMA, every round is another fight. I'm going to repeat that. In MMA, every round is another fight. So you are going into this fight, and I have a perfect example, and it's actually in the same division. Charles Oliveira was getting his ass whipped worse than Conor because he almost got finished, and you could clearly see in his face that he was hurt. And guess what happened in the round right after? Literally, once the round started, he knocked this guy out, Michael Chandler. So in MMA especially, fights can switch on a dime. So I believe I'm mad because I'm resentful of the crowd assuming Dustin's victory because you cannot predict that. It's almost impossible to say that. And that fight just proved it. What I'm giving you is imagine Charles Oliveira got to the end of that round and then broke his leg. You would have never seen the potential of him coming back. And he looked weak in that first round. He looked like every other bad performance because he always loses the fight that he needs to take it over the hump. Because Charles Oliveira has always been at the top, more or less. He's a great fighter. But he went over the hump by literally going through the exact scenario he usually fails at. And you got to respect that. I'm not over here to undermine Charles Oliveira. And I don't want to wish this on Charles Oliveira. But if he was able to hurt his foot and then not show us what he was able to do in round 2, we would have never been able to see that wonderful comeback. So please, let's stop assuming what the second round or the third round, fourth or fifth round potentially could have been.
No, I see what you're going with this, but in this fight, I felt like Dustin was going to be much fresher in the second round than Conor McGregor. He was wearing on Conor McGregor for that round. He landed more hard shots, more significant shots on Conor.
I agree.
The ground and pound was serious.
I agree.
And I think that he was doing more damage on Conor. So the second round, momentum was looking like it was going Dustin. I know that there's possibilities and probabilities, but if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's usually a fucking duck.
Yo,
so
this duck,
I can't really say that it looked like Conor McGregor was going to have an outstanding round. It really looked like Conor McGregor was going to start to get to the embarrassing phase of this beatdown. He could have got stopped.
Look, we can all agree, and we agreed to this over the phone. It wasn't a takedown that led to the ground and pound domination.
It was a bad tactical decision, right?
He did not get saved.
Dustin has something to do with that bad decision.
Man, look, you cannot tell me this when I just gave you the most amazing example. Charles Oliveira was able to completely change the fight in 1 round.
That's all possibilities. Like, at the end of the day...
Guy, whoa. Everybody who's against Conor right now is speaking possibilities. They're saying that Dustin won the fight.
You're most likely going to do better in the second round if the momentum is shifting your way. So most likely it was going to be another beatdown.
Okay, if we're talking probabilities, that's a different conversation. But you guys are talking like You guys are talking like it's definitive. Like it's definitive that Dustin was gonna win. In MMA, every round is another
No,
fight.
but it's less. What you're saying is gonna would have happened is less likely, is what I'm saying.
And I'm not here to
Most
argue that.
likely,
See, this is what people do. You're a typical Republican. That's why you're wearing red. You change the conversation. Instead of answering the question at hand, you change the complete question. That's what you do.
no, I didn't. I said that he's most likely
You probably
gonna lose that
okay.
second
We
round.
can
So what would
argue
have
that
happened?
all day, but that's still hypothetical, my G. You heard? That's still hypothetical.
Not
And
really.
You guys are living a hypothetical. All I'm trying to say is, if he would have
Not
lost
really. You're
legitimately,
all the way
I would have.
hypothetical.
No, you
You're coming up with the
you
least
guys are talking
likely
hypothetical.
possibility.
You said that. Oh, Dustin's gonna win. What is that? That's a hypothetical, because it's not a fact.
It
What
is
is
a
that?
fact. He won the fight.
You see what I'm
sir.
saying?
He
No,
won
no,
the
no.
fight.
I said that you said he was going to win the fight regardless of the injury. That is not a fact. Literally not a fact. That's your opinion.
No, I'm not saying it is a fact.
You
but
just said
was
it's a
most
fact.
Likely.
Yo, Bronx. Yo, Hollywood, come through and tell him. Hollywood, tell this man he don't know what he's talking about.
I never said it was
unless
a
you
fact.
agree with him.
I never said it was a fact. You putting words in my mouth.
Connor's
I said
washed. Connor's washed if he loses to Jake Paul. Now we arguing. Now he's washed. He's losing to the best. He's losing
Bro,
to the
he's
best. He's not
losing.
washed.
he's getting washed up. Khabib washed him. Dustin laid him out and then washed him this whole round.
Nah.
He's
hell
been
no.
getting washed.
Okay, he did wash him. What you just said right there, I can't argue it. You absolutely correct.
All right.
However,
Who washed?
go
Answer
ahead.
this.
Go ahead.
Who washed Conor McGregor before he went to fight Mayweather?
Did you wash your ass since Dustin won? Because you really like leaving that luck on you. You don't want the luck of the Irish. You want the luck of that Louisiana hot sauce.
I asked you a question.
Wait, go ahead. Tell me.
I asked you a question.
Ask me.
Who washed Conor McGregor before he fought Mayweather?
His wife. I'm sure she washed him up because when you train in, it's difficult.
Answer the question.
Oh,
Answer the
before
question.
Floyd Mayweather?
Before Floyd Mayweather, when did we see Conor McGregor get washed up?
Okay. In his replacement fight with Chad Mendes, when they replaced
He did
An
not get
opponent-
washed up. He won that fight.
he got what? No, but you're asking me in a fight that he got. That's a great example. He got his butt whipped in the first
No, I
round,
asked you.
and then
he
the second
lost.
round he came back
In
and
one
knocked out
fight
Chad
that
Mendes.
He lost because he had 3 losses before he lost to Mayweather. In which fight did he get washed up?
He never
None.
got washed up.
He got washed up in his 3 losses after Mayweather and only has 1 win.
But we
Is
had
he
that
not
conversation.
washed up?
We already had that conversation. No, hell
is
no, he's not
washed
washed
up.
up. He is not no damn
Struck
washed
out.
up.
If you get washed
Okay,
up once,
look, guys,
twice,
listen,
and 3
listen,
times, you struck
listen.
out.
Open your eyes and open your ears, because I don't know what you're listening with, because some people are different. But if you're listening with your eyes like JoeyKO, you're missing out. But if you're listening with your ears, you're gonna listen and
Oh, so you
understand
want
what
me
I'm
to
saying.
you want me to believe your words and ignore what I'm seeing? That's what you want? Like,
Hector's
you
calling
telling
a
me that my
deflector.
eyes are lying to me. My eyes are lying to me, and then your ears are telling me the truth. That's what you're saying? Oh, I didn't know that. Go ahead.
No. Before the projection of your television screen, which is up here, you got the functions, you got the memory bank, and then your memory is full of hate for Conor McGregor. So you
Nah.
just take it from your Rolodex.
My memory is just filled
Boom.
of ground
Boom.
and pound.
I'm
and
getting
just,
jumped out here. Good. Hollywood said that he doesn't think Conor is washed up. Boom. Oh,
Who's
Nate,
that?
But Nate, that's Ricardo.
That sounds like somebody that don't know shit about boxing or MMA. It just sounds like
Oh,
casual.
word? Don't say that. He knows
Tell that nigga to stick to the Hollywood. You heard? Stick to that Hollywood life. You don't know nothing about this.
Yo, I told him earlier that he was looking fit, he was looking alright, and then he turned into Macho Man Randy Savage. He couldn't even handle it. You heard? See, I guess all that, what was that? What you was eating? Seaweed?
Nigga,
My man
that's
was
that
eating
Dustin
seaweed.
fast. Nigga, that Dustin fast.
Dustin Fast. Yeah, he's a copier. He's gonna copy Conor McGregor. Watch him come out with proper 13, cause he's a copier.
No, because he washed them up. So
He's a
now he
copier.
could just come out with the proper 13, better than proper 12.
Just tell us that you bought a Dustin Poirier blankie and you sleep with it at night now. Now you
Nah, I
got
just bought
Dustin
a.
Poirier. Now you got Dustin Poirier tatted on his neck.
Nah, I got a Dustin Bieber poster.
You got a
Dustin
Dustin Bieber.
Bieber.
I'm really mad about that doll behind you, man. That's disrespect.
He's in pain. You see him? Oh, what the fuck?
Yo, that's disrespectful, man.
Yo, listen, this is gonna be a collector's item. I'm gonna have it on
Look,
eBay.
so clearly, I don't even need to ask you. We already know he got Dustin Poirier's whole foot in his mouth. So we already know he got
No, it's
Dustin
just
Poirier in the
Dustin's
full
gonna win
fight.
the fourth fight. He's gonna
I'm gonna
win the
go
fourth
against the
fight.
grain. I'm gonna go against the grain. While y'all driving over here, I'm going against traffic. I don't got my license yet, so I don't know what I'm doing. So don't follow what I'm doing. But I'm gonna go against the grain, against
Listen,
the traffic, and I'm out of here.
McGregor is gonna get himself killed
I'm
one
out.
of these days, fucking with Dustin Poirier. He needs to leave Dustin Poirier
Wow,
alone.
proper beatdown. Wow,
Go
good
fight.
one, Heck. I
Go
like
fight
that.
a rematch with Cerrone or Tony Ferguson. You know what
Okay,
I'm
so
saying?
look, I
Fight
understand.
Tito Ortiz. Fight
Have you
Tito
seen?
Ortiz.
Not to change the subject, so let's talk about this because I'm pretty sure I could come back to this forever. But let's actually talk about the press conference with Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. Did you see that?
Yep.
That was actually pretty hilarious because I thought Tyron Woodley actually dominated the discussion pretty much. Because I loved when he told him, if we talking fights, don't even talk to me. Me and you should even have the same conversations. If you want to talk about clout and trolling, then you can have a conversation with me. When it's talking about the fight game, don't even talk to me right now. I respect that.
Yeah, I like Serrano. Serrano's gonna be the co-main event. That was a bit of a surprise, and
Oh man,
I'm happy that they always include real fights and real fighters in these events to show you that they not just trying to like make it a spectacle.
would you argue this is the biggest? This is the biggest boxer they've had in the undercard.
For me, yes, because like we said, Amanda is
But
definitely
I even think for the
underrated.
boxing community, yes.
Yeah, I think she's
Because what
definitely
other undercard? What was that undercard?
underappreciated, but I think this is a perfect fight for her, perfect platform, because if she produces an exciting fight as she's done many, many times before, I think that this is going to be
Let
a
us know who you
breaking
got,
out party
chat.
for her.
Let us know who you got. Tyron Woodley or you got Jake Paul. Because at the end of the day, if you got Jake Paul,
Oh, yeah,
you
you know
must
I got
love
Woodley.
YouTube. You don't got no cable. You just watch YouTube and you love Jake Paul.
Yeah,
Or
we
you Puerto
already
Rican
talked
and you
about that.
support that he moved to Cibao. You support his
Wood,
move over there.
I got Woodley and I got Amanda, and it's going to be a dope event. Pay close attention to that co-main event because that
But
shit's going to be fireworks.
look, at the end
It's
of the
gonna be
day,
Mexico versus Puerto Rico, and these ladies are gonna duke it out. So it's gonna be dope. They're gonna go toe to
do you
toe
know
and
much
blow
about her
for
opponent?
blow.
I know she is a WBC champion at 122 pounds, but do you know much about her ability, her skill set?
Um, isn't that the girl that landed that quick knockout, the fastest knockout?
Right.
I
No, I
think
don't
that's
know.
her.
I definitely don't know. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make us look less stupid, and I'm gonna go find out who
And
she's fighting.
Google,
So I'm
you
in
smart.
boxrec.com. You know what's boxrec? Wow, she has an amazing record. I didn't even put. Um, wow, you're not gonna do that? You're not trying to see that? Wow, Hector's really tight. He's really not gonna support it. Why, bro? Well, to be honest, I wouldn't watch Dave Chappelle box Kevin Hart in the
Nah, but this
undercard, but
fight,
I might.
I'm gonna keep it real. Jake Paul won me with this fight because he's taking a real risk. If you're gonna
Oh,
take a real risk in a dangerous guy like Woodley, even though he's smaller, he could punch, man. I'm not gonna be surprised because Woodley has fought bigger men his whole career
yeah, that's
in
absolutely
MMA.
true. And they asked,
You
they
know,
asked, they asked Woodley, who did he fight? Jake Paul had the audacity to ask him, who did you fight? And since he asked who did you fight and not who you beat, His resume is actually stupendous. He fought Nate Marquardt, lost, but he won the championship prior to that. But he's beaten a litany of fighters. And he's also lost to a litany of amazing, legendary fighters. So if you're talking about experience,
he's mounted a Hall of Fame career, in my opinion. That's a Hall of Fame career. You had multiple defenses of the UFC championship.
He
was a champion in another organization. He was a multiple organization world champion. So it's like
absolutely
for the who's who. So yeah, that's a real fighter, and he did a lot of striking.
But speaking of Amanda Serrano, what do you feel about her training with Jake Paul and fully putting her support behind Jake Paul? I actually seen her on Twitter.
Jake Paul's a real fighter. He's training with real fighters. He's training next to Amanda. He got Jadion Love with him. They bringing in real sparring partners from amateur and professional backgrounds, and they building them up. So he's the real deal as far as his conditioning and training. Now, as far as him becoming a world champion and being Canelo, he's out of his monkey ass mind. But you gotta have confidence to do this shit. So, you know, he'll definitely make a lot of money along the way. I don't think he wins this fight, but he's definitely gonna get my respect either way for taking this type of risk.
Well, I believe one thing is that he went straight to Tyron Woodley. I believe he should have signed a 2-fight deal and fought a bum. You know, and respect to all the fighters. So if you ever hear us call you a bum, don't beat us up. If we call you a bum, don't beat us up.
No, please. You got a great idea.
I don't box.
They can actually go with a suitcase filled with money, $300,000, and pick a homeless man from the street and offer the money to him and be like, if you fight this guy and we train you, you know what I'm saying? And they
but that would actually be worse than what he's actually been doing. What I actually mean is, let's get him a guy who's 2-14.
They got to get him a crackhead, but it can't be a regular crackhead. It got to be someone who's like Crack Diesel and shit. Like Crack Diesel, crackhead.
Yes, heck, I'm arguing for you. Heck,
get him off drugs.
This is for you.
A great story.
He should fight. He should have fought a bum first. He should have fought a guy who has a professional record, who's a real legitimate boxer.
Bum fight
first.
Bum fight.
No, man, not that low.
Nah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm just fucking with you.
If he at least fought someone from Deontay Wilder's resume, and I'm sorry, he's not the same.
He's not gonna be able to beat those guys.
Well, those are way too big. But let's talk about. No, technically he's at 190 pounds. That's only 10 pounds away, right?
Bro, he hasn't fought nobody who's even a threat. The closest thing to a threat was a wrestler.
Yes, and I even think going from Ben Askren, which is actually really trying to disrespect mixed martial arts. You're gonna go from Ben Askren, the worst Rocky impersonator of all time. Ben Askren,
the worst striker
you're gonna go from him to Tyron Woodley. Really,
the worst striker in MMA history to one of the best strikers in MMA history, Woodley. That's a big leap. That's definitely a big leap.
We just seen Anderson Silva. Fuck you, Heck. We just seen Anderson Silva. Yo, bro, on your phone, you can look at the chat. Because JoeyKO is completely out of it. You know, JoeyKO is really only 37. But in real life and in technology worth, he's 87.
How I'm supposed to see the live? I don't get it.
Oh, because you're doing this on your phone. I'm messing you all up. I'm a McGee. Yeah. Sorry, Magoo.
You're a McGee.
I'm McGee, you Magoo. So
you just hating on me because I'm hitting the facts on your bitch ass McGregor. Look at that.
Yeah, but we weren't there yet. Hold up. That's not cry. That's sweat.
Look at that.
That's not cry. That's sweat.
Oh, look at that.
Look. I got you right now. So let's talk about Amanda Serrano's opponent, and her name is Yamileth Mercado. So that's our sister's sister. Nah, I'm lying.
She's a Mercado.
But her record is actually pretty impressive. I'm gonna explain. This is what we edit out in our videos if you want to know.
Just say her record. Just say her record.
Help me out, bro. Help me out, man. All right.
What's the record?
She's 18-2.
18-2. Okay, that's an amazing record. Okay, she has a good record. Amanda
Ricardo said,
Serrano.
you bugging out calling Jake Paul a real fighter. But anyway, she's 18-2.
I didn't say he's a real boxer. I said he's a real fighter.
Okay, I like that. All right, we
Yeah,
caught you. We caught you,
he needs
politician.
to fight
We
another
got him. The
boxer.
politician got caught. But anyway.
When I see Jake Paul beating another boxer, then he becomes a boxer.
Yo, but she's actually pretty respectful. She's respectable.
He's fighting a very respectful boxing match.
Yo, Yami left. If you ever watch this, I doubt it, but if you ever watch this, snuff him. Because I'm trying to talk about you, and he's stuck on the train back there. She's 18-2, right? Out of Mexico in the super bantamweight division, she is ranked numero uno. She's number one ranked out of Mexico. In the entire world, which there's 119 competitors in the entire world in that division, she's number 2. So, not only is she a very respectable opponent, she is the WBC female super bantamweight champion. And she actually won that fight in 2019 and has defended it 3 times since. So she's had 4 championship fights, and of course she's had international variants of those fights. Wow, she went for the WBC female super bantamweight title before, and she lost to Fatima Zarika in a split decision. So it shows you that. Oh, and she avenged that win to win the WBC title against Fatima Zarika. So you got to give her credit, and that shows me she has the tenacity of a true champion, and she proved she's a champion, you know?
Yeah, but Amanda Serrano is going to get in that ass.
I just set that all up. So that when Amanda Serrano spanks her, I don't want to hear the Twitter world saying, oh, she beat a bum. No, she beat a highly credible opponent. And this is probably the best fight Showtime. Oh, this is Showtime now. He went from Triller to Showtime, so I'm forgetting that it's actually a different platform.
Yeah, this is Showtime. This is.
Oh yeah,
this is
I'm bugging out. This is actually boxing. Oh wow.
Yeah, you're not gonna see Snoop Dogg popping bottles and smoking blunts in the back with fucking teenage hookers running around and motherfuckers cursing.
Give me my money. Give me my money, Joe.
Give me my money, nigga. Shit was crazy.
You gotta give Snoop Dogg and if you're not gonna give Snoop Dogg a chance, you're gonna have to switch him up for his twin in the business sphere, Shaq. If you don't got Snoop, you got Shaq. So let's try Shaq. Let's see what Shaq could bring. Shaqtin' the Fool. If he could bring Shaqtin' the Fool to the UFC,
boxing,
I would love that. Or boxing.
I had enough of all that clown horse shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with watching YouTubers box other YouTubers. It just gotta be done right. You know what I'm saying? Like in the mix of real fights, in case we get these 2 clowns that don't know how to fight, fuck it up. Because, you know, watching dudes that don't know how to fight is a 50-50. It might be entertaining, it might be hilarious, or it might be embarrassing. So
I think it's at 8 o'clock on Sunday. Oh, you asking what time is it right now? It's 12:55, my G. But the fight when that fight happens, it will be Sunday, August 29th. Live on Showtime pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view on a Sunday? The fuck?
Remember that Sunday is mostly for events. Saturday is exclusively for real fights. Sunday is mostly for fantastical events.
How much longer are we gonna do this shit?
We could do it for as long. Me and you be talking for longer, yo. My man's stamina's whack, yo. We've only been live for 1 minute.
No, we haven't been live for no 1 minute. The fuck out of here.
Okay, let's see anything else that we could touch on before we get out, cause you know I gotta go to sleep, so I need to take all these thoughts out of my head, cause then I'm not gonna sleep. I'm gonna be thinking, Conor McGregor, come back. Please beat this man, you know, and I don't want to be thinking that no more. I just want to live.
I know you heard.
I just want to survive at this point.
It might be over. This might be it. This might be the beginning of the end for Conor McGregor. I think that if they make the right choices, he might be able to mount out a comeback. But The way he be talking, trying to fight the toughest and biggest and fight for the world title right away.
Yo,
I think those days are
Joe, he's
over,
not
man.
gonna think lower. He's not gonna think less of himself, and that's why I believe he's gonna come back. And he's gonna come back strong. And since he's super rich, he's the number one on the Forbes list, and he just made a boatload of money right now from the 1.8 million pay-per-view buys that he did. And since Dana White likes to sign the pay-per-view stars to championship fights, he is gonna get a championship fight inevitable, or he's gonna have to earn it, which I believe Dana's gonna make him earn it. So Dustin, preferably, is able to beat Charles Oliveira. And we could even talk about that. What is the prospects that Dustin actually beats Charles Oliveira? And who is the favorite in that fight, in your opinion, Joe?
I honestly have that fight a 50-50 because Oliveira is a well-rounded athlete. He knows how to strike. He's dangerous on the ground. He's most dangerous on the ground, as we know. He has the most submissions in UFC history. And then you also got to account for his knockout power because he has knocked out a couple of guys, especially recently.
Right.
So, he laid the smackdown on Lee, laid the smackdown on Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler. This guy is for everybody. He's been in the UFC since he was 20 years old, and I think he's in his prime right now. 9 wins in a row.
That, man.
9 wins in a row. I mean,
and
he's well-rounded.
You heard? His last name is Du Bronx.
Bronx.
He's
not from the BX from Brazil.
But that's his name, Du Bronx. And what does that mean in Portuguese, Du Bronx?
That has something to do with the favelas. It's like, it means poor place or something like that. But he was a very poor guy in Brazil. And now he's the world champion, wearing Versace shirts.
Well, at least I'm not the only weirdo that's actually asking this question. I found the article. Why is Charles Oliveira called Du Bronx?
The Bronx.
So
he's from the favelas over there, and I think it has something to do with that.
Oh, you're actually right.
It means.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty cool. Oh, so it's actually more of a connection than I think. The Bronx is actually known for being. Roots. No, but you're absolutely right. Favela. A nickname for the favela is Bronx. And that is actually something that I believe a lot of people know about the Bronx. If you're talking about the Warriors movie, the Bronx is it's a international known place. And it's actually known as a place to avoid. Oh, if you go to New York City, don't go to the Bronx. And maybe that's less now than in the past, but that's people have that in their memory decks. So it's actually literally the nickname, the Bronx. So he's the man for that. So we gotta support him for that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
And it's a tough fight, man. I think Dustin has the advantage on the feet because he's more of a knockout puncher. But they're both dangerous on the feet, both dangerous on the ground. But I give the edge to Oliveira on the ground because of his great submissions. But he's talented, man. I don't know if Dustin's gonna win this fight. This is like 50-50. I really don't know who the hell's gonna win this fight.
No, but
it makes it exciting. I'm definitely
Charles
excited.
Oliveira is not a black belt.
I'm very excited
BJJ. He's beyond a black belt. He's not a black belt. He's beyond a black belt. Let's get that correct.
He's a platinum belt, if there's such a thing. Gold belt.
He actually utilizes his teachings. His teachings are is utilized in the game. Where Dustin Poirier will use it as a survival tactic, or he uses it defensively. I'm sure he has a lot of submissions. I'm not saying he doesn't have submission victories.
Another fact is that he came to the UFC when he was 20 years old, Oliveira. Mm-hmm. Very young, very green. Younger than anybody else, really. One of the youngest UFC to come into the UFC. So, very dangerous.
Well,
who you got?
Me? Oh, I didn't even explain who I thought. Well, I honestly believe, and I'm pretty biased, you already know why, but I believe Dustin Poirier is actually a true 155er. And I believe he's going to show that. And he might even be, like, if there was such a thing as a 165-pound division, Dustin could make that weight comfortably. So I believe Dustin Poirier has proven a balloon in a healthy manner, unlike Max Holloway. and he's shown to be a great 155er. So I believe he's going to be stronger, and maybe that gives him the confidence to be able to handle the ground game. But that is going to be scary on his own, and I don't think you should approach an MMA fight scared of a certain position. And I believe that was the issue with Khabib and approaching Khabib, and everyone approached it the same. They were scared of their life of being on the ground, and they wanted to get up, which is actually horrible. That's a horrible approach to the fight. And they all said it repeatedly. Oh, we were too defensive, too defensive, too defensive. No, what you were was scared of the ground game. And you know who wouldn't have been scared of the ground game? Charles Oliveira. And it's so coincidental that, right before he actually retires, that would have been a great matchup, because would Khabib approach the fight the exact same way? Maybe not, because how could you take down this guy and feel truly confident that he's not going to put you in a tough spot? So, I believe...
Stylistically, I feel like Oliveira would have been the biggest threat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, Charles Oliveira is an interesting matchup because I believe he's improved his striking. So, when you talk about his improved striking, you talk about his master BJJ. You have to give him the credit that it's going to be a tough fight, and it's going to be unlike the other fights, because he's typically fought... Well, he's fought a lot of different matchups, so Dustin's probably seen it all. But he is a specialist. This is not a typical fighter. I don't believe you could train for Charles Oliveira the same way. He is a specialist in that you have to fight him to feel... You got to feel him out by fighting him, if that makes sense. So having said that, I got Dustin Poirier because I believe his stand-up is going to be too much, and I believe it might even be a first-round knockout.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for joining our live.
Got one more thing. He got one more thing. He said Cody and O'Malley. Do you think that should be a matchup that you're interested in?
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
I mean, he has to fight somebody in the top 10 eventually.
Yeah. If you haven't seen our last video, I recommend it. The top 5 underappreciated Puerto Rican fighters in 2021. It's definitely worth the watch. Amanda Serrano fully supported our video. She says she's a fan of ours. Janelson Boca Chica Figueroa has sent us love about the video. He said he appreciated the video. And he wasn't even on the video. Just no spoilers. But
and shout out our boy Jorge Teron for doing our very first Ultimate Fight interview. That's coming soon.
That's coming out. That is coming out very shortly. We had an interview with Jorge Teron. To give you a little preview of it, he is a 3-time consecutive. Actually, I'm gonna allow JoeyKO to preview his resume. Tell him what Jorge Teron is known for.
Yeah, he did somebody that I followed as a young kid, and I seen them basically grow up to be professional. He was a NABF world champion in boxing, which is the ESPN title, and he did win 3 Golden Gloves as an amateur, which started his buzz and led to him being, managed by Breland. Breland was his trainer for most of his fights, and he developed a good friendship with Badu Jack, who we know is under the Mayweather platform and a former world champion. So it's great because you get to hear his stories and his experience and how he came up. He was definitely a world-ranked fighter when he was competing. So it's dope to get that experience from
and we ain't gonna tell you what he said about Wilder, but it's hilarious. He got a few things to say about a few fighters that's hilarious. So you should definitely look forward to it. We also got a preview video coming out for Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko 2, hypothetically, if Teofimo's able to defend the title. And we were working on a bunch of different content. Look, we did our first live. Now you're gonna hear JoeyKO chew like a moose, and that is really the best way to end it. When you are chewing like a moose, that just hold this back. That's what he did, right? When Conor McGregor broke his leg. That's exactly what happened. So, thank you guys for watching. If you were watching, Hector, we want you on the live next time. We took this as a practice run, so don't feel excluded, my G. You feel me? Your hammerhead would have probably not fit on the screen, but it don't matter. We would have fit you, dog. You would have been here, dog. But we can't make a live if we've never done one. So now I got it all set up. I can invite you next time. We got all three of us. We got the whole block.
Now, Michael, shut the hell up and turn this shit off.
That's the